Another writing template is called C. S stands for statement. E is for evidence, and the other E is for explanation. The first part of the C strategy is S for statement. When you make a statement, you take a position on a topic, or you are sharing the position someone else took on that topic. A statement can be used to share information like facts or a statistic, or more often, the statement is a claim. Many times the statement claims that something is true or correct or accurate. In any of these forms, the statement is the beginning of an argument. By itself, the statement is not self-explanatory. Statements by themselves are lonely. They are lonely because there's nothing there to support them. There's no evidence. There's no explanation. And it's not likely that the reader will understand what the writer is thinking, because we all have a different perspective on various topics. We will individually interpret those statements differently unless some evidence and some explanation is provided. The second part of the C strategy is evidence. When you add evidence, you begin to help the reader better understand why they should care about the statement. Perhaps, more importantly, you begin to help them understand what your perspective is and why you thought there was value in the statement in the first place. Evidence comes from your research. It comes from your source material. It is best when you paraphrase that material rather than using quotations. Of course, whether you paraphrase or quote it, you're going to use a citation to give credit to the source. Avoid the temptation to line up a bunch of quotations. It is best to paraphrase your evidence using your words, and not the words of others, to support your claim. Quotations are the words and ideas of others, and they do not necessarily add clarity to what you are writing. Find a way to paraphrase the material, use your own words, and incorporate it into your thinking and why you value the statement that this evidence supports in the first place. The third part of the C strategy is explain. At this point, you have made a claim and added some evidence. Now there is a need for all this to be explained. It is common for students to not add an explanation because they assume others share their perspectives. But this is not the case. It is highly unlikely that others will share your unique perspective or know what you are thinking. This is why the explanation part is so important. In fact, the explanation is the most important part of the C strategy. The explanation makes it all make sense. It brings all these pieces together. This helps the reader understand why they should care. The explanation helps the reader understand what your perspective is, why this statement and why the evidence together add value, have meaning, are credible, advance an argument, make a point, refute a point, or whatever the purpose of your argument is. The explanation is absolutely critical. Take time to add meaningful explanations. Here is a caution. Do not add another statement as an explanation to a prior statement. Another statement introduces new ideas. Keep your explanation relevant and directly aligned with the first idea before you move on to any new ideas. Remember, there should only be one idea in a paragraph. And just to break it down, in the example on your screen, we have a statement. It is followed by the evidence. We have a clear citation for that with Walsh 2019. And then we have a nice explanation. The explanation is roughly equal to as much as the statement and the evidence provided together. We want our explanation to be 50% or more of what we share in our paragraph. The three sections you see on the screen would be combined into one paragraph. The C strategy will add power and clarity to your writing. Accept the challenge and use the C strategy. Thank you for checking out this video.